Hi all, welcome to my channel. My name is Amila and this is Staying Forever Young Naturally, where we talk about wisdom sharing, right? Not based on what I heard, but what I've been through, what I've experienced, and how I applied what I've experienced as wisdom. Okay, so today I want to talk about living in a full lie stops you from embracing your whole truth. What does that mean? What did you come here to experience in this lifetime? Do you know? You probably have a glimpse. I know for me, I had a glimpse, but knowing, I never took the time to really stop and figure it out, because society, especially when I was going through the understanding of what's the purpose of life, when for me, I didn't understand what it was that I was supposed to do and be in life. So I adapted what I thought was socially acceptable, right? For me, I felt like being in the corporate world, having a corporate look, and being a melanated, strong woman, most of the time in my masculine, I thought that was my truth. That was who I was, because I thought it looked good from the outside in. But that was me living in a full lie. I was living in a full lie, and I didn't embrace the truth of who I was. I didn't even stop to understand and learn the truth of who I was. I was so busy trying to uphold and live the lie and tell myself that the lie was actually the truth. But when you do that, do you know what happens to you? There's things that happen to you mentally, physically, and spiritually, right? So think about it this way. You're living in a full lie. Your spirit wants you to embrace your whole truth, and your body is caught between the two. So when that happens, there's a chaos. There's friction, there's chaos, there is dis-ease, right? Because now things aren't flowing easily, because you keeping up this facade of who you are, and your real self is like, no, 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 no. Hey, girl, hello, this is not who you are. This is actually who you are. But you don't have time to look, study, investigate, and jump into who you are, because when you live in when you live in a lie, it requires energy, it requires strain, it requires so much of your time to manipulate and lie to yourself and tell yourself that it's the truth, when it's not. It's the furthest thing away from the truth. But again, when you are living in that lie and not embracing your truth, sometimes, and this is not for everybody, this was just for me, sometimes people are bold enough, or the generations that have came after me are bold enough to be like, there's no way I'm living in this three-dimensional matrix, a lie of a matrix. But for me, it took me to have a diseased body. It took me to, have a doctor tell me that once I had cancer, a second time that actually I've had two cancer diagnoses when I was living in that life. I had my spleen removed because of things that was there that they never even seen in a medical world. And they were asking me if I could fly down and be a, I guess, in a trial study to see how is it possible that someone can have a growth on their spleen, right? Because I had my spleen removed because they didn't understand how someone can have a growth on their spleen. Like, that doesn't happen in first world countries. That's something that only happens in third world country. Well, when you're not living your truth, guess what? Anything is possible that will happen to get your attention, because now your spirit is trying to get you. I love the way that this bird, can you see him in the background? Maybe you can't see him, he's just listening. There has to be a way that your spirit needs to get your attention, because you over here giving all your time, energy, and I'm speaking, this is me, was giving my time, my energy, my resources to upholding the lie, while my truth was like, girl, if you just don't embrace me and be who you are, and things will flow so much easy. The fluidity of life will be like a breeze. Yeah, there will be disappointments and things will happen, because, you know, in life sometimes things happen, but it will not be as cumbersome as it is for you to uphold this lie. And I wasn't paying attention to that because I'm stubborn in a lot of ways, until your health start fading. And now you're faced with, keep living this lie or embrace your truth, heal your body, and then figure out and understand who you truly are. Because once you come into the truth, embrace your truth of who you truly are completely, 100%, then you're gonna open up yourself to the beauty of, damn, I was hiding that. Damn, that's me. Damn, I'm full of power like that. Damn, I can move mountains. I can step into a different timeline. I can be brave and be whoever it is I want, need, desire. That's who I am. I was living in that lie, and it was hard. So once you start embracing the truth of who you are, and do it little by little, unless you're bold and ready to jump in. Like I said, a lot of these generations after me, you guys are bold, and I freaking love that. I salute you for that, because I don't feel like my generation was bold enough. I'm just speaking in general. I'm just speaking for myself from what I've seen, but we were more bolder than our parents' generation, because they were programmed to just be stuck. Like the fear, the traumas, the unresolved burdens, and then it was just too much for them. And so that's why my generation elected to step in and say, hey, we're gonna burn away a lot of that karma, a lot of that trauma, and make way for a more enlightened vessel of your human being. And I see that now in my son generation, even though they still have a lot to learn about hard work, and when I say hard work, no, not working hard like we did, more so about momentum, keeping it moving, because that, I feel like my son's generation, they're quick to want to pull the plug and check up out of here. Like they want to kill themselves really quick before they do all this, and that's not what they came here for. They came here to have this experience, to rejoice in it, to understand, to stub their toe, to jump in the shallow end and then get out, and then jump back into the deep end and then get out, and understand what it is to break their heart, put it back together, to grow, to learn. Every relationship, every path, everything you experience show you a little bit more about yourself, who you are, how you operate, what you do when no one is around, your character, the true character of who you are when nobody is watching. So this is the reason why you need to embrace the truth of who you are, because if you think about it, it is so true. It's true that the truth, not only will it set you free, it will give you the freedom of flow in life so you can experience what you came here to experience. Okay? I hope that makes sense, right? So the next time you kind of go within and take a look at your life and realize the life you're living is not your truth, you living your whole lie without embracing your whole truth, start dismantling all of those lies little by little. They say, how do you eat an elephant, right? Which I don't like to say that. So, because I love elephants and I have a spirit animal that's a beautiful elephant with jewel headdresses and everything, and she's so beautiful and she touches my heart. So I'm not going to say that. But how do you handle a big situation? By dealing with it a little bit at a time, right? Piece by piece by piece. And so I hope this has brought you some type of a awakening for you to let go of that whole lie if you're living a lie, and then step into the reality of your truth. Until I talk to you again, I love you all. Stay divinely elevating, right? Elevating from the heart, because we want to get to a place where we are living from our heart up and connecting with our higher self, because we're sovereign over here, baby. That's what we are. Whether you know it or not, you are a sovereign being. You came here to be sovereign. Everything you want, everything you need. Look at this little cutie. But can you see him? You can't see him, huh? Everything you want, everything you need, everything that you are desiring to be is all within your sovereignty. You just need to step into it. And I'm here to put a little bug in your ear. So I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.